Hi there, fellow book lovers, and welcome to my channel. My name is Tabitha, and today I am going to be reviewing my February Book of the Month Club pick, which was An American Marriage by Tayari Jones. Now, this book follows the story of married couple Roy and Celestial. Roy is an up-and-coming business executive, starting to do very well for himself. He's respected, and he's really got big dreams that he plans to achieve. Celestial is just starting to make waves in the art world with these hand-sewn dolls that she calls poupées. I think it's a French word. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it means dolls in French. And she's starting to gain notoriety for her work in that field. Now, Roy and Celestial have been married for about a year. They have a very passionate marriage. They fight and then they make up. Roy is kind of a flirtatious man, and so they have issues dealing with that. Their marriage is definitely not perfect, but they do love each other quite a bit. Now, they've been married for about a year when they take a trip from Atlanta, Georgia, where they live, to a small town in Louisiana to visit Roy's parents. While in this small town, Roy is accused of a crime that he didn't commit and is sentenced to 12 years in prison. So the story is told through three perspectives and also has a lot of letter correspondence in it. The three perspectives that the story takes place from is Roy's, Celestial's, and their mutual friend Andre. Andre has been friends with Celestial since she was young. They grew up next door to each other, and Roy and Andre were also very good friends in college. So the three of them know each other very intimately. And this story is basically told about how they all deal with Roy's incarceration and then later his release. Now, the writing of this book is absolutely gorgeous. There are so many quotes that I took down while reading this book because Jones just has an absolutely beautiful way of telling the story. It hooked me from the get-go. I was absolutely enthralled. I read this book in about 2 days because I just couldn't stop thinking about it when I wasn't reading it. I loved it that much. And then as far as her characters go, it is told from three perspectives. I don't always like that from a book, but I do think it was necessary for this book. All three perspectives helped with giving the reader insight into the situation that was going on. Sometimes a certain scene was told from different perspectives, and so we got to really get the whole view of it rather than just one person's side of the story. A quote that I always like, not from the book, but in general, is there are two sides to every story, and then there's the truth somewhere in between. I feel like Jones really was able to give us the truth of the story by switching perspectives the way that she did. At first, I thought I wasn't going to like Andre's perspective because the marriage is between Roy and Celestial, and so that's who I thought I was going to be rooting for throughout the book. But Andre's perspective really did help enlighten the situation. The way he knows both of the characters and then also the struggles that he deals with in his own life with regards to his relationship with his father were interesting and added a lot to the book, so I really did appreciate that. Overall, I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I really, really loved it. I thought that I was going to be disappointed by the ending when I was getting close because I thought, how on earth is Jones going to end this book and like make me feel satisfied? Because it's the type of book where depending on the outcome, you may or may not be super happy. It's not like the most uplifting story. I don't know, like there are just things about it that I was really doubtful that she was going to be able to wrap into a neat little box, but I was very happy with how the story ended. I thought it was perfect. I just really, really loved this book overall. A way I like to describe it, not to give too much away, but it's a love triangle done right. It's not your typical like YA romance love triangle. This is a very realistic look at not only Black life in America, like what it is to be an African American, but also just what it is to be an American in general. This book is set in the New South, so it is a contemporary novel, but it's very interesting because while a lot of issues of like blackness are touched on. Like there's one point where Roy's father is basically explaining that the reason Roy went to prison is because he was a black man in the wrong place at the wrong time. I also think that this is a beautiful look of what it just means to be American in general. The whole idea of like upward mobility and achieving your dreams with Celestial and her art career, and then with Roy and his business career. And then also just to look at the prison system and how the justice system can be unfair and just sometimes be swayed by being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I just really think that this was a good look at contemporary life, and I think Jones executed it wonderfully, and I just really overall loved this book. I thought it was really well done. I would highly, highly, highly recommend it, and I'm looking forward to reading more from Jones. So that's it for this review. If you've read this book, if this was your pick of the month, let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to know what you thought of it. And until next time, bye.